hiring you, and you had a testimonial like that on your LinkedIn profile that you could also put on your website and put on your Facebook page, would feel really comfortable about the fact that you're going to be getting a lot of business. Would you think so? By showing you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing that's really interesting is what I do for my clients, I actually do for myself. So if you go to LinkedIn and you want to connect with me, I would love that. But I'll share just one very quick story that happened to me. One of the places that I always wanted to speak and train on LinkedIn is Vistage. If you know Vistage, that's the CEO organization, very hard to get into. And one day I got a message on LinkedIn from somebody that said, I found you on LinkedIn, we're a platinum sponsor for Vistage. We'd like to know if you're available to do a breakout session for us. And I was like, yes, oh my God, it actually works. They found me on LinkedIn. They didn't blink at what I asked for for my daily rate, but I also said, I wonder if it would be okay if I stayed all day, and would it be possible to get the list of everybody there, because I'd like to connect on LinkedIn. I wanted to get the list ahead of time. I cannot tell you how much business that worked for me, but simply because what I did was I connected with everybody that was in that room. How amazing is that? Using this very tool. Now, I want to go through a couple of the other areas, and then I'm going to actually show you the search part of this that makes it so easy and so much fun. Okay? So one of the areas on your profile that most people ignore, okay, is you have all of your experience. You're going to put all of that there, and that's important. And again, notice it's filled in. I can't tell you how many profiles I look at, and it looks like a job resume. It's not. You really want to be able to put all of the keywords, what you want to be found for. So you want to list all of that, and again, more testimonials underneath, okay? I said it should look like a CPS receipt, it really should. But then when you go down, and you're using rich text media, that's the other thing. That's really, really important. Again, when you come into your skills, how many of you have endorsements or you get them and you have no idea what they are, and it's like, why should I endorse? You're very confused, right? Well, with endorsements, the one thing that I'll share with you is when you endorse somebody and they get a notice, what happens? You're top of mind. So I teach people how to play the endorsement game, and I'll share that on the webinar on how you can actually use that. But I want to get to one of the most important parts. Notice it says education. It doesn't say formal education. Any class that you've taken, any courses that you've taken, you can list there. Lots of rich text media. But here's the magic. Two parts. The interest. Now, why would you want to put your personal interest? That you like wine tasting, that you're into golden retrievers, whatever it happens to be. Because when you want to search and connect with somebody and find your ideal client, you want to connect based on common interests. So when you send a LinkedIn invitation, it's going to say, hi Andy, I noticed that we both are dog lovers and we share many common connections. It would be great to connect on LinkedIn. Now, if you took a look at my LinkedIn profile, even though we don't know each other, you probably would accept it. Is that true? Absolutely. And the thing of it is that when you do it very specifically in your invitation, and I use the word colleague all the time, and I always personalize the message. Always personalize the message. Now, if you send it from your phone or your tablet, it will do the default, which basically is just, I'd like to add you to my network, but there is a specific way that you can personalize it using your phone. I'm not going to go into it now, but if you want to know, just come and ask me and I'll show you. But when you don't use the personal invitation, that basically says, I'm lazy. I'm really not taking the time to say how I know you or how I met you. And by the way, if you're sending them out to people and you really don't know them, and you get too many I don't knows, LinkedIn actually will shut you down. I had a client recently that they came to me and said, oh, I've just been sending out all these invitations and can you help me? And I looked and he wanted me to help him with some advanced search techniques. And as soon as I started, it said, you are close to getting shut down. I mean, I've really, very rarely seen that notice. And when I asked him, he said, oh yeah, I guess my assistant's been sending these out. He had no idea who his network was or anything else. So you want to actually be careful about who you do that with. The other thing is, I love putting personal details with your birthday, but only the day and the month. Now why? How many times have you had a meeting with somebody and you really don't know much about them? Has that ever happened to anybody? Go look at their LinkedIn profile, it will tell you a lot. But here's the fun one, and most people won't tell you this. So if I look at John's, it says, okay, June 26th, that's his birthday. I'll go to Google and I'll say, if you were born on June 26th, then you know what? There's about a 90 to 95% chance I will know a lot about him. So and I did this actually in a workshop one day, and I had a woman next to me and I said, when's your birthday? Turned out it was November 16th. I said, oh, can we have some fun? She said, sure. I said, I bet you don't really tolerate people being late very often. And if you have an opinion about something, it better be right or you better have science. And I went through this whole thing. She looked at me, she goes, are you psychic? I said, no, I have a daughter born on that day. And it was just amazing, the insight that you have. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of all of it. But here's the other part of it, advice on contacting you. Most people only put their name and their information. Here's what you want to put there. What you want to put is the reason you want somebody to contact you. Does that make sense? So I'm going to show you one of my favorite little tricks, because one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, should I pay for the membership? Does anybody have a premium membership? No? Do you know why you have it?
My boss got it for me.
Ah, your boss got it, okay. The only reason you really want a premium membership is you want to know who's looking at you, who's viewing your profile, and if you're doing publications on Pulse, on LinkedIn, you want to know who's liking, sharing, and looking at your articles. Does that make sense? And that's one of the best ways, actually, to create a following. Now, how many of you know that you can export all of your contacts and get their email addresses so you can actually connect with these people outside of LinkedIn? How many of you actually know that? You know what? It's a gold mine. So how many contacts do you have? Oh my gosh, I have over 4,000 contacts? I email those people almost every 2 weeks with a video that I have created, and then I look at the opens and I call. This is my list because I've created relationships with these people, and if they don't want to be on your list, they will opt out. Make sense? So one of the other things that most people won't tell you are privacy settings. Anybody know about